as much gold to go in our pockets as possible.
Here we go.
We got 100.
Oh my God.
It's been one wild ride for Parker Schnabel and his crew. This season was packed with emotion, high-stakes decisions, and jaw-dropping results. At the heart of it all was Parker's bold gamble buying Dominion Creek, a move that had him second-guessing himself night after night. But now, as the season nears its end, that risk is paying off in a way no one could have predicted. Dominion Creek turned out to be far richer than anyone imagined. Their original season goal of 5,000 ounces, obliterated. They're now pushing close to an unimaginable 7,000 ounces, and Parker is determined to claim every last flake of gold. After 5 relentless days of non-stop sluicing at both Australia and Dominion Creeks, the crew is exhausted, but excited. It's finally time for the season's most anticipated moment, the final gold weigh dash in. Mitch, one of the MVPs of the operation, takes a quiet moment to reflect. The entire crew has been pushed beyond their limits. Newcomers like Tatiana, Evan, and Jacob, once rookies, are now running heavy machinery like seasoned pros. The team gathers as the first scale fires up. Australia Creek's gold is on deck. The numbers start climbing fast: 20 ounces, 40, 70, 100, and it's still going. Finally, it lands on a massive 172 ounces. But wait, there's more. Now it's time for Dominion Creek's cleanup. The energy in the room shifts. Everyone leans in. The gold pours in .20 ounces, 40, 100, 120. It just keeps climbing. When the scale finally settles, it reads an astounding 300 ounces for the week. That brings Parker's total for the week to 635 ounces a haul, worth over $1.2 million. The crew is buzzing. This is the biggest cleanup of the season, and possibly one of the most legendary moments in gold rush history. But there's no resting in the gold mining world. Parker knows it. His crew knows it. The moment you slow down, the gold stops. Parker gathers the team. We're blowing past our target, he says. But we've got a lot more dirt to move. Let's get to it. Across the operation, things are still in full swing. Over at Australia Creek, Tyson's small but mighty wash plant has been quietly racking up huge numbers. Despite its size, this machine has been averaging an impressive 145 ounces a week. But this week, Lucifer goes even further. The team weighs the results, and the numbers soar to 270.05 ounce, is over $250,000 in gold. In just 7 days? For a smaller setup, that's a massive win. It proves one thing: when the ground is rich, even the smallest machine can deliver massive results. And it's not over yet. Now it's time to see if Parker's new setup, Roxon, can compete with his legendary wash plant, Big Red. The crew is working the money pitsum of the richest ground they've ever mined. After fine-tuning Roxon's system, it's showtime. Chris, look at that gold, Parker says, pointing to a glowing pile of shiny flakes. Pretty cool, huh? The first batch hits 200 ounces, then a second batch, pushing the total to 246.85 ounces. And that's not even counting the fine gold they couldn't fully clean. Final tally, 443.8 ounces, nearly $120,000 per day, in just 1 week. Parker's team has mined a jaw-dropping 723.85 ounces worth, nearly $1.4 million. That's 3 full pans of gold. It's the largest haul of the entire season. These are the moments that define a miner's career. But with success comes pressure. Parker knows if they let off the gas, they might fall short. We're burning through pay dirt fast, he says. If we keep this up, we might run out before sunrise. Meanwhile, Tyson wraps up operations at Australia Creek, a major chapter of the season. The final win there brings in 282.30 ounces, worth over $560,000 in total. Australia Creek has delivered over 1,000 ounces this season, a huge win. But will they come back next year? Parker isn't saying yet. He's keeping that card close to his chest. The ground was tough, the work grueling, but the rewards undeniable. As the team prepares for the last batch from Dominion Creek, everyone's watching the scale one last time. The gold pours in 382.05 ounces. Another Massive result. Another reason Dominion Creek may just be Parker's greatest gamble. And his biggest victory. The dream of 7,000 ounces is no longer a dream. It's a possibility. And if Parker Schnabel has proven anything this season, it's that no risk is too great when there's gold in the ground. But beyond the weight of the gold and the jaw-dropping dollar figures, this week meant something much deeper for Parker and his team. Every ounce they pulled wasn't just metal from the earth. It was a symbol of their grit, their teamwork, and their belief in each other. For Parker, Dominion Creek was a gamble. He put his name, reputation, and millions of dollars on the line, and for weeks, he wasn't sure if it would pay off. The stress wore on him. You could see it in his face, hear it in his voice. But today, all of that risk has turned into one of the most rewarding wins of his career. For the crew, especially the Greenhorns, it's been a transformation. They arrived, unsure, untested, and inexperienced. But now, they're seasoned miners, battle-tested, gold-proven. Tatiana and Evan, who once struggled with basic equipment, now confidently manage machines worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Even Tyson's side operation with Lucifer proved that smart setups and hard work can deliver just as much as the big leagues. But the celebration is short-lived. Parker knows what comes next. With gold moving faster than ever, they're burning through dirt at a dangerous pace. If the ground doesn't keep producing, they could hit a wall. There's no room for mistakes, no time for downtime. And as night falls over the Yukon, the crew isn't headed to a party, they're heading back to work. More dirt to dig, more pay streaks to chase, and the promise of gold still glinting in the dark dot, because in the world of gold mining, you're only ever 1 week away from your biggest failure or your greatest triumph. When Parker Schnabel made the bold choice to buy Dominion Creek, many people thought he was taking too big of a risk. Spending $15 million on a single claim in the Yukon was a massive decision even for an experienced gold miner like him. But Parker wasn't interested in playing it safe. He saw something in Dominion Creek that others didn't. As the new season of Gold Rush began, Parker set one of his biggest goals yet, to mine 7,000 ounces of gold in a single season. That number was ambitious, even crazy, some said. But Parker believed in the land, believed in his team, and most of all, believed in the hard work it would take to get there. From the very start, the season was filled with problems. Machines broke down, weather turned dangerous, and the pressure was non-stop. But Parker and his crew kept pushing, day after day. Driven by one goal, 7,000 ounces. The crew worked non-stop. For 6 months, running wash plants at full speed, and digging through dirt faster than ever before. Parker's team faced challenge after challenge. Some days, it looked like the operation might fall apart. But the team held together. New crew members like Tatiana, Evan, and Jacob, who started the season with very little experience, learned fast. They soon handled heavy machines like professionals. Tyson, running his own smaller setup called Lucifer, proved it even small. Wash plants can bring in huge results. Week after week, the gold poured in. Some cleanups were solid, others were incredible. But it was the final few weeks of the season where things really took off. As the numbers grew, the crew started to believe they could actually do it. They weren't just close to 7,000 ounces, they were on the edge of breaking a Gold Rush record. And Parker, he stayed focused, managing every decision with care, knowing that one wrong move could cost them everything. The biggest turning point came from Dominion Creek. The land turned out to be richer than anyone expected. Gold was coming out faster, and in bigger amounts than the crew had ever seen. In 1 week alone, they pulled in $760,000 worth of gold, pushing Parker's season total to 6,544 ounces. With only one wash plant still running and time running out, the pressure was building. But Dominion Creek kept producing. Parker's $15 million bet was looking smarter by the day. Everyone on the team felt the energy something special was happening. They knew if the machines held together, if the ground didn't dry up, and if the weather stayed clear, that 7,000 ounce goal could actually be within reach. This wasn't just about hitting a number anymore. It was about proving that all their hard work, sacrifice, and risk were worth it. The dream was becoming reality, one bucket of dirt at a time. With the season winding down, Parker and his team focused all their energy on one thing: the final win. This moment would decide whether the season was a success or not. The crew was tired. They had been working day and night for months. But they didn't slow down. Instead, they pushed even harder. They knew that the last few days could make all the difference. Parker's newest wash plant, Roxin, stepped up in a big way. It delivered a stunning 443.8 ounces in 1 week, nearly $120,000 per day. Tyson's Lucifer also surprised everyone with a weekly haul of 270 ounces, proving again that small operations can deliver big results. The team was firing on all cylinders. With every cleanup, they got closer to the 7,000 ounce mark. Then came the final jar, the last win of the season. Parker didn't want to make a big speech. He just loaded the gold onto the scale and let the numbers speak. When the final numbers came in, the entire room exploded with cheers. The last week's total was an unbelievable 554.35 ounces, over $1.1 million worth of gold. But the real celebration came when they added it to the season's total. Parker Schnabel and his crew had mined a grand total of 7,381 ounces. That's over $15 million in gold in just one season. It was more than anyone expected. Evan Parker. He didn't just hit his goal. He smashed it. He nearly made back the entire $15 million investment he had spent on Dominion Creek in a single season. That kind of return is rare in gold mining. It was a historic moment that will go down in gold rush history. Parker turned a massive risk into one of the most successful seasons of his career. And more importantly, he did it with the help of a loyal, hard-working crew that never gave up. As the excitement filled the air, Parker took a quiet moment to thank his team. Looking at the crew, he said from the heart, "Thank you all. I hope every single one of you comes back next year. You've all got a place here." The emotion was clear. This wasn't just about gold, it was about people. The crew had worked through snow, storms, broken equipment, and sleepless nights. They had stuck together through everything. And now, they were part of something legendary. Parker also took a moment to think about the people who weren't there. To see this win, those they had lost, or who couldn't be part of the season. The gold was valuable, but the journey, the teamwork, and the lessons meant even more. This was more than just a mining season. It was a story of growth, leadership, and proving the impossible was possible. Even after a season this big, there's no time to rest. Parker knows gold mining never stops. Next year, there will be new challenges. Equipment will break, weather will turn, and tough choices will need to be made again. Dominion Creek has proven itself to be a gold-rich powerhouse. But the ground doesn't stay the same. It can give and take at any moment. The real test will be whether Parker and his crew can keep up the momentum. Can they push beyond 7,381 ounces? Can they make Dominion Creek an even bigger success? The questions are exciting, and fans are already wondering what comes next. But one thing is for sure, after a season like this, everyone will be watching. Parker didn't just survive the season. He set a new bar. And now, he's ready for whatever comes next. Parker Schnabel's season wasn't just successful, it was legendary. With over 7,300 ounces of gold and $15 million in value, he turned a risky investment into a gold mining masterclass. His journey showed what's possible when you combine bold decisions, hard work, and the right team. Dominion Creek is no longer just a dream, it's the foundation of Parker's future. The challenges were real, but so were the rewards. The numbers are impressive, but the real story is about grit, leadership, and never giving up. As the crew looks toward next season, they do so with pride, knowing they were part of something historic. And for the fans watching at home, this is only the beginning. The gold rush is far from over, and Parker Schnabel is just getting started. What Parker and his team accomplished this season goes far beyond the numbers. Yes, 7,381 ounces of gold and $15 million in value are impressive. But the true story lies in the journey, a journey filled with sacrifice, risk, and personal growth. Each member of the crew played a part in this historic win. Some were seasoned miners, but others came in with almost no experience at all. They faced freezing temperatures, mudslides, machinery breakdowns, and long nights with little sleep. They missed birthdays, time with family, and normal comforts most people take for granted. Yet through it all, they stayed focused on a shared goal. Parker became more than just a boss. He became a leader people could trust. He made hard calls, stood by his team, and never let fear of failure stop him from chasing what seemed impossible. The season will be remembered, not just for its numbers, but for how it shaped Parker's legacy. It proved that, with the right mindset and the right people, even the biggest challenges can be overcome. Future miners, viewers, and fans will look back at this season as a turning point, not just for Parker's career, but for the spirit of Gold Rush itself. Dominion Creek will always be tied to this victory, and every bucket of dirt that came out of it told a story of hard work, belief, and resilience. Parker's success lit a spark for others, reminding everyone that when you take a chance on yourself and refuse to quit, amazing things can happen. It's not just gold they found in the Yukon, it's something far more valuable. Proof that dreams, no matter how wild, are always worth chasing.